गुड आफ्टरनून मैम। आवाज नहीं आ रही। अच्छा, आप भेज दीजिए। सिंपल मैम को भेजिएगा, सिंपल मैडम को भी।
Sir, you have to give me. You have to.
Oh, yes, yes, got it. हाँ, please unmute yourself. You are the co-host. You are the co-host. Not yet audible. लोगों को एंट्री दें। नहीं हो रहा है तो एक बार बाहर जाइए, फिर आइए। Leave once and then come back.
Am I audible now?
Yes, now it's okay. Now please share your PPT once.
Okay. Okay. Ready? Just a minute. Click share. But then entire screen window Chrome tab. What is that Chrome tab? I want to share this. Can you see it? Hello?
No. No, not yet.
Why it's happening this? Window. Yeah, I think this one. Is it okay?
Not yet.
No. Is it not seen?
No, no, no.
Share screen failed. Unable to
Are you
share it.
sharing the PPT with the same? Because you're observed to have joined this meeting with two accounts. One is verified, the other is unverified. Are
Okay.
you trying to share with the one where you are the co-host or some other one?
That I don't know, but I think I have. Okay, let me just leave.
You are connected with three accounts. I have made in two of your account as a co.
Sir, what is happening?
You share.
Cannot display your shared content. Make sure that you have allowed permission to share content.
I have allowed two of your accounts as the co-host.
How come I have joined? Should I switch off everything? Suggest me.
आपका इतना सारा अकाउंट कैसे दिख रहा है? आपका शेयर नहीं हो रहा है. बाहर निकल गए. Yes, it's done. Now you unmute yourself.
I think it's done.
Yes, visible. Make it in slideshow mode.
Okay. Slideshow view.
Yes.
You'll tell me when I have to start. Let
Yes.
us
Just
wait for 5 more minutes.
2-3 minutes. Good afternoon, everyone. So, I welcome you all in this 9th online training on POCSO. Uh, we are uh, we are expecting the training to be say this is one of the most important training that everyone should have, and I'm thankful for Rama man that she selected this topic for today's deliberations. And so, on behalf of Aryabharta Saudaya School Complex, I welcome you once again. On behalf of our founder chairman and President Madam, Vice President, all the office bearers, our deputy training coordinators, Simple Man. I welcome the resource person also. He's one of the most learned one in the field, and I'm very, very hopeful that her expertise is going to help us a lot in this. So, requesting Raman to kindly start the session.
Thank you so much, sir, for the kind introduction part. And I am thankful to you. I'm privileged to be chosen to speak something on this very important topic. And it's one of my most favorite platform. So thank you all for choosing me and giving me a chance. And I think after a long duration, I have I'm starting to speak on some topic here. So again, thank you all. And I think for all school members, stakeholders, guardians, parents, or school management, the worst nightmare for any educator or school leader or any school management is any breach in the safety and security of the children in the school or en route. Every school has a zero tolerance policy for any act of corporal punishment or child abuse or any breach in the safety and security of our children. That you all know. And as educators, we are very well aware of these things and we know what is happening in our society. Our civilization is progressing, and with that, we are becoming more and more barbarian. Starting on this very, very important and sensitive topic, we all know that whenever you suspect a child is being harmed anyhow, you need to recognize the signs of child abuse. And the most important thing is that sometimes the signs of abuse are not so obvious. And learning the warning sign is very important. You have to be very, very sensitive. And whenever you suspect that something wrong is happening with any child, you need to talk to the child. And if you are concerned about the abuse, and if you more or less, you can suspect that something very wrong is happening, after talking to the child, you need to report it. But before you report, you need to know where to report, how to report, and after you report, how to save the child, how to protect the child from any further abuse or any type of insult or any type of shock, aftershock. So for this, we need to know about this POCSO Act. And before that also, you can see this screen. This screen is having a symbol from NCPCR. What is NCPCR? That is National Commission for Protection of Child Right, which emphasizes the principle of universality and inviolability of child rights, emphasizes the urgency in all child-related principles of our country, and they are with some very important quote for us: Bhavishya Rakshati Rakshita. भविष्य को या फ्यूचर को अगर हम लोग रक्षा करते हैं, तभी जाके हम लोग का फ्यूचर सिक्योर होता है. And if our children are not safeguarded, then we have to forget about any education. because education starts in a safe and secure environment. If the safety and security is absent, then education or learning can never happen. Now, let us go to the second screen. And these newspaper articles are very common nowadays. You can see some four distinct like uh, topics are here. Distinct reporting is there. Major crime against minor. 5 arrested for child abuse. The second one is about boy child's abuse, where it is the topic is like boys don't cry. Sexual abuse of boys in childhood remains misunderstood and underreported. That is also a very true thing. We need to know that even boys are being abused, and because it's a case of boys, so sexual abuse of boys are not reported. Again, we can see that Supreme Court Judge Suryakant is telling that failing our children fails nation's soul. Everyday's affair. But before going into details of this chilling incidents, let us know what is POCSO, what does it mean, why it is so important. So let us start about the term POCSO. What is POCSO? It is protection of children from sexual offenses. It's an act, it's a comprehensive law in India, and it is enacted in 2012 to protect children from sexual assault, sexual harassment, pornography, or other types of abuses. It also establishes special courts for the trial of such offences and provides for the support and rehabilitation of the victims, that's our children. This particular act applies to all persons below the age of 18, regardless of gender, and it aims to ensure a child-friendly judicial process. Now you can see in this screen, there are 4 different sectors. One is going to tell you about the distinct features, that's the key aspects. The second one will talk about the stakeholders of POCSO Act. The third is roles and responsibilities of stakeholders and the procedure to be followed. We need to know all these 4 sectors. Again, I am telling, आप अगर टीचर हो या तो स्कूल के प्रिंसिपल हो या मैनेजमेंट बोर्ड for everyone, and as a guardian or a parent also, you need to know about the nuances of this act. This is a very, very important act for the future citizens of the country. So when we talk about the distinct features, first of all, we need to know that this POCSO Act is gender neutral. That means whether the child is a boy or a girl or of any gender, this POCSO Act is actually for everyone. And here the POCSO Act ensures that whenever any abuse of a child happens, whosoever is watching or whosoever is suspecting about that, they need to report. So the reporting is mandatory. And POCSO Act processes are all child-friendly process. That is why we need to take extra care so that the child doesn't feel insecure anymore. And we have to protect the child's rights also. And here the provisions are very strict. So let us know more about the key aspects of the POCSO Act. In the first slide, we have told 2 very important information about it. The act first came into force in 2012, and here a child means anyone who is under the age of 18 years. So 2012 is the year and 18 is the age, and it is gender neutral. So what is the definition of a child under the POCSO Act? Person below the age of 18 is considered a child under the Act. And what are the offenses covered? The Act addresses sexual assault, sexual harassment, child pornography, including aggravated forms of sexual assault. What are the punishments? The Act prescribes varying punishments for different offences, including imprisonment, fine, or stricter punishment for more dangerous type of offences. There are special courts which are established to ensure speedy trials and provide a child-friendly environment. The victim protection is very, very important here. That's why we are telling that child-friendly process is there. The Act emphasizes the protection and support of victims throughout the judicial process, including provision for legal aid. The Act mandates child-friendly reporting, recording of evidence and investigation. Whatever the child tells, that is to be reported, maybe in his or her language or with the help of a translator or a mediator. The reporting should be unbiased. And individuals aware of offences under the Act are required to report them to the authorities. And POCSO Act was again once amended in 2019. Now, after knowing about the let us know about the stakeholders. If we talk about the stakeholders, whosoever are there in the society, they all are the stakeholders, because we all have to safeguard our children. But if we talk about the key stakeholders, Special Juvenile Police Unit, what we know as SJPU, Child Welfare Committee, that is CWC, special court for these children, then parents, teachers, schools, or any adult, any sensitive member of the society can be a key stakeholder. But when we know more about the key stakeholders, we should know about the law enforcement agencies. Police play a crucial role in investigating cases, registering FIRs, and ensuring the safety of the child victim. When we talk about judiciary or the special court, so special courts and juvenile justice boards are established to handle the POCSO cases, ensuring a child-sensitive and speedy trial process. Medical professionals are also stakeholders, because doctors and medical personnel provide crucial evidence through medical examinations and forensic reports, helping in the investigation and trial. In this case, these medical practitioners also has to be sensitive enough because of the requirement, the special requirement of the children or the child victim. Child welfare bodies, organizations like Child Welfare Committees, that is CWCs, District Child Protection Units, that is DCPU, they provide care and support to child victims, including rehabilitation and counseling. There are legal representatives who are also stakeholders, important stakeholders. They are the lawyers, the public prosecutors, the legal aid providers, who ensure that the child's rights are protected throughout the legal processes. And educational institutions, schools, teachers, the school management, they play a vital role in identifying the cases and reporting the cases of child sexual abuse, as well as providing support to the child. It happens in some cases where the family members are actually the abusers. The children cannot discuss it with the family members. In that case, the teachers or the school's role becomes immense. They need to talk to the child whenever they suspect that there is a case of child abuse, and they need to report, and they need to protect the child's right. So educational institutions are also very, very important stakeholders. Then the civil society organization, the parents and the guardians, and the adults of the society, the schools, the interpreters, the translators, the special educators, the school counselors, the school executives, all are important stakeholders. When we talk about the media and the reporting agencies, we need to know that they are also responsible for ethical and sensitive reporting on child abuse cases. Because if the media takes care of the sensitivity, they will never divulge the identity of the child, and they will prioritize the child's well-being and confidentiality. And then above all these, there is district magistrate or the commissioner who are actually responsible for the overall implementation of the POCSO Act at the district level, including child-friendly measures at public gatherings. Now, if we go to the next one, that is the assessment of behavior. First of all, before reporting anything, whenever you suspect that something wrong is happening, anyone who is seeing, who is knowing about this, they need to assess the behavior of the child or the behavior of the children who are being abused. Then the reporting should be timely and the process should be fair enough. And in this case, the role and responsibility of the stakeholder is to ensure speedy redressal of the whole process. Okay. So if you want to know more about it, the reporting, any individual with a knowledge of child sexual abuse is legally obligated. This is a legal obligation to report it to the designated authorities. What is the protection? If we talk about the protection, all stakeholders must prioritize the child's safety and well-being throughout the process. The child should not be questioned or interviewed in such a manner that the child feels that he or she is not secure enough. And all stakeholders, they need to take care of the child's safety and well-being. And if we talk about the coordination, the effective implementation of the POCSO Act requires seamless coordination. So once you sense, then you have to assess, and then you need to coordinate to the authority to whom you should report. And there should be collaboration among all stakeholders. You need to provide necessary support, including medical support, psychological support, because if a child is abused, he or she becomes a psychological victim. He or she is under shock. So you need to provide psychological assistance and legal assistance also to the child. And you need to ensure a fair and timely trial for the accused while protecting the rights and well-being. And promoting awareness about child sexual abuse of the POCSO Act is to prevent such incident. Now, whenever we are talking about the stakeholders, the features, and the roles and responsibilities, we need to know that whenever we go to school, we see our children, we need to actually sense their well-being. स्कूल में जाने के बाद एक टीचर जब क्लास में जाते हैं, बच्चों का रोल कॉल करते हैं, उसका अटेंडेंस लेते हैं, तो बच्चा का बिहेवियर, उसका स्माइल, उसका आईज देख के एक सेंसिटिव टीचर को ये पता होना चाहिए कि बच्चा पेन में है कि बच्चा हैप्पी है. Whether the child is feeling secure, happy, and he or she is ready to learn. Because otherwise, when the child is feeling insecure, he or she can never take part in this whole process of teaching and learning. So if you feel that the child is not well, then you need to question the child. You need to talk to the child. You need to hear what the child is telling. Because कभी कभी ऐसा होता है ना कि बच्चा बहुत छोटा है, बच्चा बोलना चाहता है बहुत कुछ लेकिन बोल नहीं पाते हैं, तब टीचर या स्कूल के जो काउंसलर है और स्कूल के जो वेलनेस टीचर है, वो बच्चा को अलग से बच्चा के साथ घंटों बात करके भी सेंस कर सकते हैं। बिकॉज मेरे अपनी जिंदगी में मैं ऐसा केस देखी जहां बच्चों के साथ बात करते 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 आपको पता हो जाता है कि उसका फैमिली में उसके अपने चाचा ही शायद उसका उसका अब्यूज कर रहा है, father they are not telling anything about it. So you need to sense where the violation is going on, and you need to talk to the child. After that, the procedure to be followed is recording the contents. The contents of a report should be simple and child friendly language. छोटा बच्चा वो बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लैंग्वेज यूज नहीं कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उसके अंदर क्या छुपा हुआ है ये टीचर को या केयर गिवर को या जो भी स्टेक होल्डर को उसको सेंस करना चाहिए. एंड देन देयर कैन बी अ मीडिएटर और अ ट्रांसलेटर हु कैन एक्चुअली फाइंड आउट व्हाट हैज हैपेंड. एंड द रिपोर्टिंग शुड बी वेरी सिंपल in a child friendly language. There should not be any bias in it, and the assessment of needs of medical or police protection should be there, and ultimately there should be the filing for compensation. So here in a small area it is written SJPU to mandatorily report the case to Child Welfare Committee and assessment for CNCP to made by CWC. So you must be knowing what is SJPU. You know, this is Special Juvenile Police Unit, and Child Welfare Committee is CWC, and CNCP is Child in Need for Care and Protection. They all should actually join hands to give justice to such a case. Now, what is the role of NCPCR? ये इतना जो काम के पीछे अगर आप बोलते हैं कि गार्जियन बॉडी कौन सा है, दैट इज एनसीपीसीआर. व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ एनसीपीसीआर? This is a national commission, of course, and if you talk about its main role in protection of child right, you can see this is going to examine and review safeguards provided under the law and recommend measures for effective implementation. The NCPCR also study treaties and other international instruments. They undertake periodical review of existing policies and programs, present reports to the central government annually. The NCPCR, which is the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, they inquire into violation of child rights, recommend initiation of proceedings, look into the matters relating to the children in need of special care and protection. Inspection of homes or places of residence or institution where children are detained, are lodged, that this inspection is also done by NCPCR. And spreading child rights literacy to various sections of the society, this is also their key functions. NCPCR also promote awareness of the safeguard. They undertake and promote research, and they also undertake training program. So if you talk about the key functions of NCPCR, it can be divided into monitoring and implementation. Then inside this monitoring and implementation, there is reviewing of safeguards, monitoring of implementation, investigation and action, inquiring into violation, recommending legal action, inspecting the institutions, all comes. And NCPCR also promote some research, because after the research only, they will tell about the present status of the entire nation when you talk about these child abuse cases. NCPCR also spread awareness. It works to raise awareness about child rights among various sections of society, and they are also actually responsible for policy and program development. It reviews existing policies, programs, activities, recommend measures, and address vulnerable children. Focusing on vulnerable group, that also comes under their responsibility. NCPCR recognizes the importance of prioritizing the most vulnerable children, such as those of backward regions, those who are coming from economically weaker sections or facing specific challenges. If a child is not in proper health or doesn't speak the language of the country or of that particular place, or the child is carried to a distant place, in that case, you need to focus on the vulnerability of those children. And NCPCR सबसे ऊपर जो बात है, ensure inclusivity. It emphasizes that all children, regardless of their economical background, their linguistic background, their religious background, their circumstances, their physical status, should have their rights protected and upheld. So in essence, we can tell that NCPCR acts as a vital watchdog and it advocates for child rights in India, working to create a society where every child can grow and thrive in a safe and nurturing environment. Now, when we talk about reporting under POCSO Act, इसमें देखिए 3 क्वेश्चन इंपॉर्टेंट है. Who can complain, where to complain, and manner in which complaint is to be recorded. Okay, so let us see. First is report to SJPU or police whenever there is apprehension or commission. Means suppose you have a suspicion कि कुछ खराब चीज हो रहा है, okay, तब आप रिपोर्ट कर सकते हो SJPU में. Now, when that is reported, then this report is produced before CWC, where there will be assessment of the needs. Here, the need is the need of the child or the need of the children. Adults' need is not taken care of here. Psychological need, emotional need, social need, financial need of the child is to be assessed, और उसके बाद उसको उतना उस need के अनुसार उनको support दिया जाता है. Then obligation on media photographic facility. इसमें मीडिया को तो बहुत सेंसिटिव होना ही चाहिए, बच्चा का आइडेंटिटी कभी डिस्क्लोज नहीं करना चाहिए, और सारा रिपोर्टिंग ethically होना चाहिए, so that the child or the family concerned do not feel insulted or do not feel that their privacy is violated. Now, recording of the statement or information to CWC and special court, here the support person can be assigned. And you need to take special care कि जो victim है और जो violator है, वो दोनों एक ही जगह में present ना रहे. Before reporting or before the legal case is lodged and before the proceedings, they should not face each other. क्योंकि इस cases में, पोक्सो के केस में बहुत ये चीज होता है कि reporting के पहले ही मतलब जो रिपोर्ट कर रहा है वो कभी हॉस्टाइल हो जाता है, बिकॉज देयर आर मेनी इक्वेशंस. उसमें पैसा चलता है, कोई बीच में मेडिएटर बन जाता है, और उसके लिए ये केस पूरा केस जो एक्चुअल केस भी है कभी कभी बिगड़ जाता है. Police protection and medical needs, that is to be taken care of, and you need to avoid re-victimization. Now this victimization is very important. मतलब बच्चा को ऐसा नहीं पूछा जाना चाहिए कि बच्चा को again and again he or she relieves that incident. जो इंसिडेंट उसके साथ हो चुका है उसका शौक बार बार उसको मिले, बार बार उसको याद कराया जाए कि उसके साथ क्या हुआ है, ये कभी नहीं होना चाहिए. एक बार रिपोर्टिंग हो जाने के बाद बच्चा का प्रोटेक्शन हम लोग के लिए ज्यादा जरूरी है, ना कि उसको बार बार इन्वेस्टिगेट करना. एंड वी नीड टू टेक केयर ऑफ द मेडिकल, इमोशनल एंड साइकोलॉजिकल नीड ऑफ द चाइल्ड. And once the case is going on, a special court is also to determine the compensation. And whenever we are talking about this compensation can be in many form. बच्चा का इमोशनल कंपेंसेशन भी होना चाहिए, साइकोलॉजिकल कंपेंसेशन भी होना चाहिए. द चाइल्ड शुड नॉट फील दैट आई एम अ विक्टिम सो आई एम द क्रिमिनल. हम लोग के देश में सबसे बड़ा बात होता है कि व्हेनेवर देयर इज अ सेक्सुअल अब्यूज, हम लोग के देश में यही चलता है कि जो विक्टिम है उसी का शर्म है, वही मुंह छुपा के बैठते हैं, और जो क्रिमिनल है वो एकदम छाती फुला के इन इन पब्लिक they feel that they have done a great thing. No, it should not be there. The victim should never feel re-victimization, and they should not be in a case of eternal like victimization, and they should not feel so low because they are the victim. They have suffered. But जो ऑफेंस किया है उनके अगेंस्ट में रिपोर्टिंग होना चाहिए और विक्टिम को हर एक तरह से करना चाहिए. Now, what constitutes as sexual offenses? These statements are not very good to read loudly, but then we should all know, because we all are educators, we know what is happening in the society. So, to safeguard the future of our children, we need to know what are actually the sexual offenses. Making sexual comments about the child's appearance. किसी को बहुत अच्छा बोलना या तो किसी को बहुत खराब बोलना, किसी को भैंसी मोटी काली बोलना भी सेक्सुअल कमेंट हो सकता है, और किसी को छमक छल्लू बोलना भी सेक्सुअल कमेंट हो सकता है. You need not pass comments about the appearance, about the physical appearance of a child or of anyone. Forcible physical touch or looking or staring at body parts or at the body, that is also a sexual offense, because बच्चा को बहुत खराब महसूस होता है. Objectionable letters, objectionable telephone calls, SMS, MMS, email, जिसमें आप बच्चा के प्राइवेसी को, बच्चा की इनोसेंस को वायलेट करने का कोशिश कर रहे हो, that is also a sexual offense. Sexual jokes, sexual taunts, causing or likely to cause embarrassment to the child. सबके सामने ऐसा रिमार्क पास किए या तो ऐसा टॉन्ट किए which embarrassment or insult to the child, that is also a sexual offense. Gender based insults or sexist remarks, ये हम लोग के देश में बहुत रैम्पेंट है, बहुत चलता है. कोई एक लड़का अगर डांस में पार्ट लेते हैं तो उसको उल्टा सीधा जेंडर बेस्ड इंसल्ट उसके प्रति मतलब बोला जाता है. या तो एक लड़की अगर उसके अंदर लड़का जैसा क्वालिटीज ज्यादा है तो उसको बोला जाता है कि मतलब तुम बेटी नहीं हो, तुम लड़का जैसे हो, और भी भद्दा भद्दा रिमार्क्स किया जाता है. एंड दैट इज ऑल्सो अ टाइप ऑफ सेक्सुअल ऑफेंस. Actual or attempted penetrative sexual intercourse, it's an extreme type of sexual offense where there is actual penetrative sexual intercourse, maybe by the help of the genital, the penis, or by other objects. Non-penetrative sexual activity, that is rubbing or touching the genitals, or what we call as bad touch. Touching, pinching, or fondling a child's sexual parts, that is genitals, breasts, or buttocks, that is also a very, very grave sexual offense. Brushing against any part of the body, oral sex with a child, masturbation between adult and child, the abuser showing his or her private part to the child, all this comes under sexual offense. We need to know what are actually the whenever these things happen, we can feel that it's nothing so serious about it, but some comments actually can hurt very, very deep penetrating pain in the child's mentality or emotion for a long time. Okay, so it's very important for us to understand that as teachers, as educators, as parents, as sensible adults, we need to know that all these things which are written here, it's not only the forcible sexual intercourse. It's not only the child pornography. It's not only the nude photographing of children or spreading it in the form of SMS, MMS, but all these different types of sexual comments, the statements, the forcible physical touch, which we all experience throughout our adulthood or throughout our childhood. These we have to be very very sensitive about this. हम लोग बड़े होते टाइम बहुत बार महसूस किए, चाहे वो लड़की चाहे वो लड़का, जिस तरह का प्यार, जिस तरह का दुलार, जिस तरह का टच हम लोग का पसंद नहीं है, उस तरह का टच होता है, उस तरह का कमेंट किया जाता है। कभी कभी गाल में मतलब पिंच किया जाना, चिक के ऊपर पिंच किया जाना, जोर से हाक करना, हो सकता है कि चाइल्ड उसको लाइक कर नहीं रहा है, लेकिन फोर्सिबल ये चीज होते हैं और हम लोग सोचते हैं ये दुलार हो रहा है या प्यार हो रहा है। बट वी नीड टू बी वेरी सेंसिटिव अबाउट द चिल्ड्रंस राइट, एंड वी नीड टू नो that these actually constitute offenses, and we should prevent others also, and we should protect our children from these type of offenses. The exploitative use of a child in prostitution or any other unlawful sexual practice. I remember a case in my school. There was a child, a small child of class 5 or 6. His father reported that nude photograph of the child is being circulated. And the father was in a very bad shape. He was telling me that I am going to commit suicide because this has happened with my child. So these type of things are also happening. Maybe you don't know, in your family also there may be some relatives, some friends of you who touch the child, or actually make remark about the child in such a way that the child doesn't feel that he is protected or he is secure or she is secure in that environment. So you need to be sensitive. The exploitative use of a child in pornography, showing picture of a sexual nature to the child that he or she doesn't want to see, letting the child watch or hear an act of sexual intercourse. Here I'll tell you to stand for 1 minute and to think and to request the parents of your junior children in your school. They should not give the mobile, because you never know when a child by chance will see some pictures or some video of a sexual nature. आप चाहते नहीं हो, लेकिन आपके इग्नोरेंस से, आपका डेलिबरेट इंडिफरेंस से कभी कभी बच्चा इस तरह का पिक्चर्स या भद्दा वीडियो देख लेते हैं. सो वी हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी like particular about what type of internet use is happening with my child or my student. Forcing a child into marriage, that is also a sexual abuse and sexual offense. Unwelcome sexually determined behavior in the form of verbal, non-verbal, and physical form. Eve teasing, that is rampant in our society. Even nowadays, it is less nowadays, but even nowadays you can go to suburbs and you can see at every nook and corner of your locality there will be some boys और सम गुंडा टाइप ऑफ थिंग, जो भी लड़की वहां से जाते हैं उसके बारे में कुछ ना कुछ रिमार्क करते हैं, कभी छेड़ते हैं. सो इफ टीजिंग इज अ वेरी वेरी सीरियस सेक्सुअल ऑफेंस. इफ यू सी इट इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू, you need to report and you need to protest. Displaying pornographic or other offensive or derogatory pictures, cartoons, from pamphlets or saying any other act which violates or is likely to violate the child's privacy or cause mental or physical disturbance to the child. Anyone who administers or help getting child administer any drug or hormone or any chemical substance with the intent that the child attains a team. This also happens. This is very, very shocking, but this happens even when a child artist is actually, you can tell, pushed into the cinema industry in our old years of cinema. Also we have seen the cases where a child, because a child will get extra money, so maybe her parents actually administer drug or hormone so that the child attains early sexual maturity. This is very sad, but it happens. But when you see it happening in front of you, you need to report or you need to protest about it. So, what to do to ensure safety of children from sexual offenses? Sexual offenses committed by persons who are in the management or staff of educational institution and persons in position of trust and authority are liable for very high penalties as per provision of this act. आजकल ऐसा भी न्यूज में आते हैं कि टीचर जो है, टीचर इज एक्चुअली द कल्प्रिट or teacher is only doing something which is actually considered to be sexual offenses. इसमें female और male दोनों teacher part ले सकते हैं. So if this happens, they are actually liable for very, very strict punishment. Now, this is not only for your information, but this is should happen in all the schools. Whenever you take some staffs or employees in the school, before actually calling them inside the school, you need to be very sure of their moral and ethical character. For that, you need to go for police verification of all your employees. As per the provision of RT Act, even the corporal punishment identified as physical punishment, mental harassment, or discrimination, all forms, these also include all forms of a sexual offense as per the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. So in the school, whatever may be the reason, maybe the child is arguing with you, maybe the child is very naughty, maybe the child has not done whatever he or she is supposed to do, but in no way the teacher can actually go for the corporal punishment. The teacher is not supposed to touch the child, because if an act of sexual abuse as defined in POCSO is inflicted on a child as a means of corporal punishment, the provision of violation of POCSO Act is also be applicable against the offender. So to safeguard you from these offenses, a teacher should never touch a child, whatever may be the reason. The teacher has 101 different ways to the child, but the teacher should never go for physical punishment or corporal punishment, because this is also included in the form of sexual offenses. So what measures can the school take? Number one, selection of employees. I have already told that ensure police verification of the school employees and connected staff. Again, I'll remember one incident from my experience. In a school bus, the last child to be dropped was a small girl of class nursery. Now, that small girl, while going home, the conductor used to keep her on his lap and used to क्या बोलेंगे उसको, fondling the child in different ways, and the child was not feeling very secure. So the maid who was present in in that bus, she has reported it to me, that is to the principal, and the immediate thing was to remove that particular conductor from the job, because no member of your, no employee of your school should touch a child if that touch or if that physical proximity is unwelcome and the child is not feeling good about it. You need to ensure police verification of the school employees and the connected staff. And if the candidate is having a criminal record of sexual or physical violence against anyone, that candidate cannot be recruited. The candidate can be very good in all other aspects, but with a criminal record, a candidate can never be recruited in a school. All newly selected candidates must also provide a signed affidavit. Employees should respect the dignity and privacy of the child, and there should be a grievance committee for child sexual abuse to address cases of child sexual abuse should be formed by the school at the beginning of the session. And the children should know who are there in that committee, so that whenever they feel that they are insecure, they can report to the members of the committee. Policy regarding employees, they should be courteous, their behavior should be polite, and the school management and those who are the mentors or who are the coordinators or who are taking care of the employees and the children, they have to be very, very vigilant. We need to provide adequate support and guidance, and all children must be escorted during travelings, during outings, inside the bus. There should not be any child left in the bus alone on the mercy of the driver and the conductor. There must be a mature adult lady who can take care of the last child to be dropped. Whenever any girl student is present in any group who is traveling somewhere, a female teacher must also accompany. Now, these are the particulars about the conduct. You should not talk to the offender in front of the child. I have told कि जो victim है और जो crime किया है, ये दोनों का आमना सामना नहीं होना चाहिए. You need not negotiate it in front of the child or in front of the victim. The victim, after reporting, he or she should not be called again and again. You need to continue to believe the child and do not blame him or her for what has happened. I have told, ये हम लोग के देश में बहुत चलता है. जो victim है, उसी को हम लोग सोचते हैं वही criminal है, वही अपना मुंह छुपाएगा. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. You need to make him or her feel that he or she is not responsible for whatever has happened to him or her. And you need to respect the privacy of the child. You should not and must not tell it to a lot of people. This also happens in our staff room. When something has happened in the school, that becomes a topic of gossip. That should not happen. If there is a committee to take care of these type of cases, those committee members should restrict the news in between them so that it does not become a topic for gossip or chacha. Make sure that all children are given enough information. So it's very, very important. Not only important, it's essential for the management to conduct special session with your children according to their age group in every 3 months. Like in the entire session, at least for 4 times, you should call your children in different groups. Maybe one group is from playgroup to class 3. Another group can be from 4, 5, 6. Another group can be 7, 8, 9, 10, who have already attaining or attained puberty. So they are to be taken separately, and they need to given the information they require to find out about their rights, about their privacy, about their safety and security, where to report, how to take care of themselves, and how to respect their own body and the others' bodies. The boys should know how to respect a girl. The girl should know how to respect a boy and how to respect their own body so that they are not the victim of violation or abuse. Maintain confidentiality about identity of the child victim. Prepare a referral system, and you need to prepare and keep a directory of local police, SJPU, CWC, counselor, hospital, district magistrate. And it is very, very important to have a good and able wellness teacher and counselor for your school. And you, as a principal or a teacher or a coordinator, should be actually connected with the children. So whenever the children feel that they are in need of your support, they should be free enough to come to you and discuss. You can also keep a suggestion and complaint box outside the principal's room so that the child can write about their need, so that the principal and the management can take care of their need whenever the need comes. Now, it also happens in our school system or in our country. The schools think that अगर इस तरह का चीज रिपोर्टेड हो जाएगा तो स्कूल बदनाम हो जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं है. Whenever you report and safeguard the actually the need of the child, actually your school becomes a better school. What is grievance committee for CSA? School must constitute a CSA committee, and it should constitute 25% of the students. Adult student, थोड़ा mature student, जिसमें आप स्कूल के प्रिफेक्टोरियल बॉडी मेंबर्स को रख सकते हो, आप स्कूल के हेड बॉय, हेड गर्ल, वाइस हेड बॉय, वाइस हेड गर्ल को रख सकते हो. They can also be a part of the this grievance committee. And then for 50% representative of the management and teachers, and 25% will be the school management committee members or parent. There can be members from the parents. Term of CSA committee is only for one session. After every session, every year, you need to reconstitute the CSA committee. And the CSA committee should be responsible for creation of awareness and to encourage students to report any fear or comprehension or apprehension of any sexual abuse or any threat to any person student has trust and confidence. Sensitization is very important. Awareness is very important. All the staff members should be taught to understand what is the basic characteristics of sexual abuse, what you should do, what you should not do, what is strictly no, what you can never do, what are the potential risk situations when they need to inform the situation to the school management members. The learning material should be gender sensitive. There must be provision for guidance and counseling throughout the year, and the complaints and grievance redressal system should be strong enough. There should be CCTV cameras present in every nook and corner which are vulnerable. CCTV cameras should also be there at the entrance of the boys and the girls' washrooms, so that anybody and everybody cannot enter and can stay over there for a longer time doing something suspicious inside the washroom. And the bathrooms and toilets should be well lit and accessible for everyone, which can be seen by the CCTV camera. There should not be any CCTV camera inside the washroom, but at the gate it should be there. Immediate steps that must be taken by the schools after knowledge of such incident. I have already discussed all these. Immediate counseling and medical care to the child. Of course, information to the parents and guardians. If the parents are responsive, then also you have to inform them and report it to the police authorities and get the FIR registered. Do not indulge in hiding the incident due to fear of harm to the reputation of school. You need to continue the child in the school as it is. He or she should not feel that something bad has happened, and rehabilitation of the child in case he or she needs it. This is NCPCR POCSO e-box. This is functional. The email ID is POCSO e-box ncpcr at the rate of government.in. There is a button. So simply, if someone press the button, there will be a reporting of a POCSO case. Now, sometimes out of curiosity also, children can press the button. But in that case, the police or the authority will ask and identify whether it is actually a POCSO case, or out of doubt, or out of insecurity, or out of curiosity, the child has pressed it. It happens, but then it's a very child-friendly way to report the authority about the happening of such a case. Okay. So this is Bal Swaraj portal, and there is a separate thing, and some points for discussion are: what are the innovative steps adopted for curbing the problem of sexual abuse, or do children know whom to approach in case they face any abuse? As school authority, as school teachers, educators, ask ourselves how prepared we are in this case. And we need to actually sensitize our parents and our children about their need, their rights, and where to go when they are in need. So, with that, I will end this session of training. This was not a very, very easy session because it was very heavy. This was a totally legal content, but then at the end of the day, we need to safeguard the rights and safety security of our children, and that's why we need to take the POCSO and the concerning information very seriously, and we need to impart the sensitization and awareness in a society. We spread the awareness so that our children or our future may be safeguarded from this very, very uh, bitter and painful type of offense. So with that, I will end this session. If there is any discussion or if there is any question, you can ask me. But this is my request to everyone, that we need to take care of our children. Whenever we go to school, we are not going to do any job. We are actually the shaper of the future of the country, and we should deal with our children with sensitivity and awareness. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Indeed, it's a very good session,
Thank you, ma'am.
and it is a need of our also. So people, we know that we are all facing a lot of issues regarding this, and even the not only the for the students too, not only for the teachers or students, but for the parents also, it's
For the
required.
parents also.
So it will be. It's very good to have we connect with the parents too, so that they will be aware about that what steps to be taken care of in case any such issues will creep up. So very good on behalf of the entire participants and on behalf of the Radivartha Sahodaya School Complex, I extend my heartfelt thanks to you, and special thanks to Symbol ma'am too, who is always, without her help, I think the participation is not possible, because she's very alert in this session to and allowing every participants to enter into the room. And Rama ma'am, you know that everybody knows that about Rama ma'am. She's very much use more empathetic. That's why she's pick up such topic. So that's
Ma'am, actually, it is very, very alarming. In most of the schools, I think that this type of things, this police verification of staffs and employees, that do not take place. And sometimes we fail to tell our drivers and conductors that when the school is on, they must not enter into the school premises. That also they should know. And who are entitled to enter into the school, who are not to enter into the school, that also we should know, and we have to fix them if they actually try to violate their limits.
Yes, true.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for
And
giving me this
because
chance.
apart from the teachers, they had to be handled with the fourth grade staff also. They goes by bus also. So everywhere this awareness to be spread among the staff members as well as the parents too. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
If
ma'am.
any, if
Thank you so
anybody
much.
has got any queries or any questions to have in mind, please you can ask. Rama ma'am will pick up. You can write it in the chat box so that
I cannot see any question.
Symbol ma'am, if any questions, you can read it, ma'am. And it's a really an incredible work from the Himanshu sir too. Is always ask
Ma'am,
the
there is no any question.
watch. Okay, please.
Everyone is ready, writing thanks, ma'am, and
Thank
appreciating
you.
the
Thank you.
session.
Appreciation only. So she
Yeah.
deserves appreciation. So Rama
Thank you,
ma'am,
ma'am.
Thank you, Rama,
And
ma'am.
good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
I'll take your
Really, the
leave.
session was extremely enlightening and well informed, ma'am. So thank you so much,
Thank
and
you so much.
thank you. Everyone is writing thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
it's a request to all the participants that we are already posted the link for the attendance as well as the quiz. Kindly do it within 15 minutes. 6:15, the link will be closed.
Ma'am, so with your permission, may I?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you, participants. I hope you all have filled the Google link, attendance link. So thank you very much. We are closing it now. Thank you, everyone.